And let's turn to our top story now, military escalation around Syria. And Patrick Henningsen is a geopolitical analyst for 21stcenturywire.com. And let's now get his take on the situation right now there. Patrick, thank you very much for joining us here at RT. So do you think Congress will get on board with Obama's plan?
Well, judging by the result we saw in the UK last Thursday, there is a chance that the president has telegraphed his position in advance. So he's politically, Obama right now is fully exposed. So it all depends on the majority GOP in Congress, whether they might seize this opportunity, as Labor did, to regain some political capital that's been lost over the years. But certainly, led by John McCain and Lindsey Graham, there is a Republican campaign for intervention in Syria that has been going on for quite a few years now. So it's very difficult to say. I would say that it all depends on what happens over the next 9 days. A lot could happen domestically and internationally over the next 9 days, which could change the playing field of this particular game.
Sure. And Obama also said failure to use force in Syria would lead to the proliferation of chemical weapons to terrorist groups. So does it mean that the al-Qaeda-linked rebels won't be able to get their hands on anything after the strikes?
Yes, exactly. This is what Al Gore would refer to as an inconvenient truth. And the big elephant in the room, which none of the political classes, neither in Britain, France, or the United States, want to mention, is the 40,000 foreign jihadist fighters that have been imported into the country that have had the political backing, essentially, of the US and the UK. So if they're not going to address this problem, it's not going to go away. Obviously, those who are looking at this story for a few years now know that the stated policy from America and the UK is regime change. And only recently have we seen this talk of chemical weapons, despite the fact they've built a whole backstory for it.
You know, France is willing to back the US, but their collective actions in Libya actually led to rampant insurgency and chaos. Would a limited strike prevent a repeat of that particular scenario?
Well, you know, last time Obama was able to hide behind the curtain of NATO with regards to Libya. So this time that's not necessarily the case, and they were allowed to do a lot of things covertly because they were working through the NATO route. Then they'll be able to do in Syria, although there's a lot of covert activity going on in Syria, especially in Jordan and Turkey, just over the borders from Syria, training rebels, etc., and preparing them with munitions and arms. This is a much more different scenario because the world is focused on this event and all eyes are on Syria. So it's going to be a very different prospect than Libya. It's not as easy of a sell.
All right. Patrick Henningsen, geopolitical analyst for 21stcenturywire.com. Thank you very much indeed for your time.